Hi everyone, today we are covering another TikTok tattoo drama, and this time it's going to be all about a lady called Ash. Now, she has gone viral on TikTok talking about why she can't get a job at TJ Maxx. So let's dive in and see what she has to say for herself, shall we?
So I wanted to come on here and talk about something that is really starting to annoy me. So I applied for a job at TJ Maxx a few weeks ago and they denied my application. They couldn't even call me. They just sent me some automated email.
In my opinion, I'm really not shocked that she couldn't get the job in TJ Maxx. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm totally not against tattoos at all. I do have tattoos of my own. My body isn't covered in them, but I do have seven. But mine are in places that can be covered up. Let me know down in the comments if you are shocked that she couldn't get the job. And if you are, then give me your reasons as to why you think it's a problem at this point. You may have a different point of view as the video goes on, but just for laughs and giggles, do it at this point just for now. Let's talk about her tattoo, shall we? Before you get any kind of ink work done, you would surely think about the consequences of it. How is it going to affect the rest of your life, possibly? Well, I get the impression in this case that wasn't done. But anyway, let's continue on with Ash's video.
So I went in today and I was like, so what was the reason I didn't get hired? And she was like, oh, like you just like don't have enough experience. There was candidates that had like more experience than you. And, I asked her if it was about my tattoos, obviously, because I know a lot of places don't like tattoos. She said that wasn't the reason. I don't feel like that's true, but whatever, I'll leave it at that.
You're saying there that they said your tattoos are not the reason and you don't agree with that. Well, to be fair, I would have to say I wouldn't agree with that either. To have the kind of tattoo work that Ash has got, in my opinion, you would have to either be your own boss, maybe work in the tattoo industry yourself, or be famous in some way so that you wouldn't be offending the general public, which is basically what I feel the problem is here. Ash is applying to work TJ Maxx on the cash register, which means that she is going to be seen by everyone entering and leaving the store. I think maybe one of the major issues is the style of tattoos that she's got. I mean, they're not exactly pretty, they're not Disney characters and rainbows and flowers, are they? No, they're more of a dark nature, I suppose you could call it. Obviously, there will be many other names for it, but I'm just going to go with dark. And I feel the dark nature of the tattoos would offend many adults and children alike. You may feel that that's a discriminatory thing to say, but hey, we're all entitled to our own opinion. But I would imagine in the case of TJ Maxx, that obviously they're not going to stand there and say, oh, yeah, we didn't hire you because you've got 11 piercings on your face and your face, neck, and chest are all covered in tattoos. They're really not going to say that, are they? Because that could get them into serious trouble. But I'm sure it goes totally against their hiring policy.
So I'm just wondering how, like, teenagers and young adults who haven't had a job before, how are they supposed to get employed if these places are only hiring people with experience? So younger people just can't get a job because they haven't worked enough?
I really don't feel that experience is the problem here. Many companies like taking on 16-year-olds that don't have any experience because then they can mould them into the way that they actually want them to do a job instead of hiring someone who's older and is set in their ways. And I just really feel that you miss the point of why you didn't get the job.
So, like, they'll deny a 16-year-old a job because they don't have enough work experience. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I do okay with money as is, so I didn't, like, need the job, but I would have liked it to have made some extra money so I could pay off my debt quicker.
You don't need the job, you just wanted it so you could pay off your debts quicker. Well, if you actually don't need the money, then why have you made a viral TikTok then? I know in one of your other videos you do go on to say that you've got a car which is a $500 payment a month. You've had your breasts enhanced, which cost $7,000, and you've got thousands of dollars worth of tattoos on your body, as well as all of the piercings. So maybe if you didn't go to these extremes, you wouldn't actually be in debt. Do you think that's something to consider at all?
I want you guys to talk about in the comments what it's been like for you finding a job recently, like if it's been easy or if it's been difficult, and I want to know like what kind of experience you guys have because I want to see if I'm the only person that's like experiencing this right now or not. And I hate that my tattoos are such a defining factor for me getting a job or not. Like, just because I have tattoos doesn't mean I'm not gonna be a good worker. Like, I do not understand that at all.
Ah, something we finally agree on. Tattoos don't mean that you are not a good worker. That's a fact, but they do detract attention away from the fact that you may be a good worker because at the moment that is all people can see. And I do tend to find your attitude could be playing a big part here as well. You get an email from TJ Maxx and you're not happy with that. So you go into the shop and ask why you didn't get the job. To me, I think that would play a defining part in why you didn't get it, maybe.
Because quite literally, some of the most smart, intelligent people I've ever met are people with tattoos and piercings. I could be wrong, but I've seen that, like, in Europe, like, people with tattoos and piercings can get jobs, like, way easier there. So, why is America not hopped on the bandwagon?
Maybe you're right. Maybe people in European countries are more accepting. What I think you need to consider is the fact you don't actually live there. You live in the US. So surely before you had the tattoos, you gave all of this some thought. Yes?
Another thing, too, is, like, all these.
In my opinion, if you really seriously wanted this job, then you would have covered your tattoos, which you can successfully do with makeup. But obviously, that goes against the grain for you because you didn't really want the job, did you? As you said, it was only for extra money. And maybe people who are covered in tattoos that are younger would have taken the initiative to actually hide the tattoos before applying for this kind of job. Now we're going to look at some different types of tattoos, ones that are called blacked out. So without further ado, let's look at a video from Machine Gun Kelly, whose body is also covered in tattoos. This video contained copyright music, so as you can see, I have muted it. His whole body is covered in tattoos all down his chest and all down his arms, and he also has them all over his legs, but not all over his face. What he does now is something completely different. He covers all the tattoos up with blacked out work. So let's have a look at that process being completed. Picking out tattoos like that is not everyone's idea of what looks good. But in Machine Gun Kelly's case, it doesn't make any difference to him, does it? Because he is a famous singer and he's definitely not going to be looking for a job in TJ Maxx. Now, the blackout tattoos also cause another problem. Many people feel that white skinned persons should not get these blacked out tattoos. And to be honest, it is going to be a personal preference. It's definitely not my preference. Even though I have tattoos, as I said earlier, mine are in places that can be covered up. I personally hate tattoos on the whole body. I dislike sleeves, whether they are on the arms or the legs. I prefer a selection of tattoos in small parts of the body that can be covered over, but obviously we are all different. To get a blacked out tattoo like that, you have got to like serious pain, in my opinion, because it takes 44 needles to make the tattoo blacked out like that. The tattoo artists don't like putting numbing cream on because it stops the saturation of the tattoo from taking properly, and it can make it become patchy, which obviously defeats the object of that. So it is exceedingly painful to have done. Which do you prefer? Do you prefer the tattoos that covered his body before, or do you prefer the blacked out tattoos? Let me know down in the comments which you prefer and why. As I said, Machine Gun Kelly can afford to have any kind of tattoos he likes because he's not going to be trying to get a job in the local department store or the local TJ Maxx shop, is he? Well, that's it from this video. If you've enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you on the next video. Ta-ta for now!